Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind.
What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video, and today I'm here for my WWE Royal Rumble 2017 review. And you know what? What I think of this show, I thought this was a pretty good show, honestly. I thought it was really good. We had some fantastic matches. Royal Rumble match, I actually thought was quite decent. Not as good as some previous, other Rumble matches, but I'll get to that later on when I get to the Rumble match. But yeah, overall I thought this was a pretty damn good show. Not the best Royal Rumble of all time, but still very good show overall. So let's not muck around, let's get straight into the review. So I'll quickly touch on the pre-show matches. I didn't watch the pre-show at all, but I'll give a little review of it. So we had Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi take on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya in a 6-woman tag team match. And the babyfaces went over, which I was actually quite surprised about. I predicted that the heels were going to win, but I guess not in that case. I didn't really have a problem with the babyface team winning. I thought because Mickie James has just come back and she's on the heel side that I thought that team would win, but no, they ended up losing to Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi, which I'm cool for, and yeah. Then we get to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. It was Cesaro and Sheamus defending against Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson, and Gallows and Anderson won, which I was shocked about. There were 2 referees assigned to this match for some fucking reason, but they ended up being Cesaro and Sheamus, which I was shocked about. So yeah, great title reign, guys. But I don't know what that means for Cesaro and Sheamus. They're probably going to have a rematch at Fastlane or whatever. I think that's the Raw exclusive pay-per-view that's coming up next month. But yeah, I'm happy for Gallows and Anderson, man. They more than deserve that championship, man. They've been pushed down for so long and, haven't really gotten a proper chance to shine. And now this is finally the chance. So yeah, congrats to Gallows and Anderson. I hope you run with those fucking titles for as long as you can, guys. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. This was the final match on the pre-show, and Nia Jax ended up beating Sasha Banks, which I believe I predicted that, actually. I'll correct myself if I was wrong, but yeah, Nia Jax beat Sasha Banks, and yeah. So that was all the pre-show matches. We're going to get to the actual show now, which started off with the Raw Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Bayley, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good women's match to open up the show. There was a head scissors through the second and third rope on the outside, which I thought was pretty cool. Charlotte just pretty much threw Bayley's head into the side of the apron, which looked like it hurt a lot, and she pushed Bayley and said, just mocked her, which was pretty cool because it kind of fit into the story, and that Bayley has been a fan her entire life of the WWE, and Charlotte pretty much just worked her whole way into becoming just the best, and she mocks her, said, "You're just one of these fans, you're a nobody," but then Bayley hulks up and fights back, and with a springboard crossbody and front faceplant, whatever, and then she ended up hitting a Macho Man elbow drop, which was cool. Then Charlotte locked in the figure 4, but then Bayley reversed it, but then Charlotte reversed it back into the figure 8 while her mouth is all bloody as hell. Bayley ended up getting the knees up when Charlotte went for the moonsault, got a 2 count, but how it all ended, Charlotte ended up hitting the natural selection on the apron, and Charlotte Flair retained the Raw Women's Championship. So really happy about that. So yeah, I thought it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought they played off each other very well, because I believe Bayley's moving up in the Raw Women's division, and I feel like this match is going to help her, exceed up a little bit more and become one of the, well, she was already kind of one of the top stars in the female division on Raw, but now she's going to really get up there after this match. So yeah, a good match between these two, and let's move on to the next one, which was the no DQ match for the Universal Championship between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And Chris Jericho was suspended high above in a shark cage, and Jericho, he was not keen to get into that shark cage, let me tell you that. He was walking really slowly and all that stuff, and KO was kind of helping him get there, and Reigns is like, come on, just get in the cage already. But Jericho attacked Reigns before the match even begins, but Roman ends up fighting back. He throws Y2J into the cage a couple of times, but then actually puts him inside the cage. They lock the door and suspend him high above, and can I just say, this match was fucking awesome. I really really enjoyed it. You know, there was a sit-out powerbomb and your drive-by and your typical Roman Reigns shtick. And there was a lot of cool spots as well, you know, like there was a frog splash through the table, which on the outside, which was just crazy. And Jericho tried to drop some brass knuckles into the ring while he was suspended above to give to Owens, and he tried to do the Superman punch, but he ended up doing it. And now, even though that Roman Reigns just got hit in the face with brass knuckles, he ended up, you know, getting out and kicking out, you know, so, because that makes a lot of sense. There was a Samoan drop through the chair, which was pretty cool. There was a stunner by Kevin Owens, which was just weird. And then KO was on the top. He's going to superplex Roman through this big stack of like chairs. It was kind of like it was like a weird fort, kind of like a play fort or whatever. And but anyway, Roman ended up Superman punching Owens off of the top rope, and he landed through the stack of chairs, which was crazy. Probably the most brutal spot of the match. Then there was a power bomb through the announce table, if that wasn't enough for Kevin Owens. And then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman shows up and beats the shit out of Roman Reigns. He ends up chokeslamming him on the announce table. It doesn't break. And then he just rams Reigns through a table that was set up near the turnbuckle area. And Kevin Owens ended up retaining. He ended up pinning Roman and retained the Universal title, which I was really happy about. Oh man, what a great no disqualification match that was. Lots of cool spots, lots of table stuff. The Owens getting thrown into the stack of chairs was just nuts, and seeing Braun Strowman out there was a nice surprise. I'm not sure if they're going to lead up to a feud in the future, maybe at Fastlane, because there might be another feud for Roman in the future, and I'll get to that later on. But yeah, great match. I think we're going to see Owens and Jericho at Mania. I'm really hoping we're seeing that, and I think we could actually, if any, you know, tension starts building in the months to come. So yeah, great match, and congrats to Owens on retaining. Then we get to like a little backstage segment with the Raw GMs and the SmackDown GMs. I remember they've done it in a few Rumbles where they show wrestlers, you know, picking out their number, and like there's like a bunch of balls and like a little like a tumbler thing, and then they open up the ball and they check what their number is for the Rumble. So Sammy ended up picking one, and you know, Daniel Bryan was telling him, hurry up and pick your ball, and he's like, wait, I've got to get blue balls. So and then Dean Ambrose showed up with his Intercontinental title and all, and he picks a ball and he says, oh look, I've got number 8. Wait, hang on, it's upside down. I got number 8, so that was a little bit funny. And so Ambrose and Sami Zayn, you know, were showing a little bit of respect to each other, and yeah, that was pretty funny and cool. Then we get a match for the Cruiserweight Championship. It is Rich Swann defending against Neville, and you know what? I thought this match was pretty good. I thought this match was pretty damn good. There was a couple of super kick catches by Neville. He did a Phoenix, I think it was Rich Swann that did a Phoenix splash on the second turnbuckle to the outside, which was cool. A jumping frog splash, which was alright. And then how this match all ended, after Rich Swann hit like a roundhouse kick kind of thing, Neville got his foot on... when he got pinned, Neville got his foot on the rope, and he ends up locking in this like weird modified crossface. I'm not really sure what it's called, but he ends up locking that in on Rich Swann, and Rich Swann has no choice but to tap out, and Neville is your new Cruiserweight champion. Yeah, I thought that was good. I thought it was a good match, probably the best pay-per-view Cruiserweight match we've seen so far, in my opinion. Neville has just been such a breath of fresh air for the Cruiserweight division. I've enjoyed what he's done ever since he's turned heel, and I feel like now he's calling himself the king of the Cruiserweights. This is going to, you know, make people want to tune in to 205 Live and the Cruiserweight division and actually get people excited about it. So yeah, good job to Neville while winning the Cruiserweight title, and I hope to see some big things from you in the future. Next, we get a match for the WWE Championship. It is AJ Styles defending against John Cena. And last year, these two ended up having the match of the year in 2016 at SummerSlam. And I feel like after this match, I think they've put on match of the year again for 2017, because this was unfucking believable, this match. I mean, when Cena is in the ring with a great wrestler, he could put on just classic matches, and that's the thing with AJ. He had with AJ Styles, he had that chemistry with him, and kind of like what he had with CM Punk and what he had with Daniel Bryan and all that stuff. If you put Cena in the ring with a great wrestler, he's gonna put on an excellent match, and this was no different. There was a side slam that was reversed into a Hurricane Rana, a couple 5-knuckle shuffle, an AA and kick out, your typical Cena stuff, and then Cena started, bulking up and hit a clothesline from hell on AJ Styles. It was really cool. And then, he was very stern faced on him and just waiting for AJ to get up so we can do something, but AJ ended up hitting back with a phenomenal forearm. There was a boo yeah kind of punch spot. Then he ended up locking Cena in the calf crusher, but then Cena reversed it into the STF, and then AJ hit the STF on Cena, locked that in, and then Cena, there was submissions all over the place. There was a figure 4 by Cena, then AJ hit the armbar on him, but Cena ended up picking him up and slamming him. And then there was a top rope leg drop, which got turned into a powerbomb, which is cool. There was a Stars Clash and a kick out at 2. 450 springboard, but Cena got his knees up. And then fucking John Cena, of all people, hit a Canadian Destroyer. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And, Jesus, man. I didn't know Cena had that in him, so that was pretty cool. There was a big ending or whatever by John Cena, Big E's move, which was out of the blue for some reason. He hit the Avalanche AA, which is an attitude adjustment from the second or the top rope or whatever, and he kicked out just like he did at SummerSlam, and just Cena's just like, what the fuck do I have to do to beat this guy? He gets hit with the Stars Clash, but he kicks out. There was a forearm into an AA, and then he rolls up right after he did the first AA and hit a second one, and John Cena is a 16-time world champion. Woo! Yep, that's right. He's tied with Ric Flair now. Cena finally got his 16th world title reign, and wow, that's a big moment for Cena, tying with Ric Flair, man. I don't know where he's going to go in the future as world champion. Of course, he's going to defend the title inside the chamber against 5 other guys, which will probably include AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, and some other cunts. But yeah, it should be really, really exciting to see that match. I cannot wait for that. But he is most likely going to main event WrestleMania as champion, I reckon. I thought it was going to be Cena and Taker. It might be. You'll find out in my Royal Rumble match review later on. And speaking of that, that's what we're going to get to right now. But before we get to that, I just want to add more onto Cena versus Styles. Fantastic match. Probably hands down match of the night for me. And yeah, just great showing between these two guys. These two guys have perfect chemistry. I loved it. So, yeah, congratulations to Cena on becoming the 16-time world champion. And then we get to the big one, the Royal Rumble match. Let's talk about this shit. So our first 2 participants was Big Cass and Chris Jericho. Big Cass and Enzo did the typical, pre-match promo when before they got into the ring. And, they started off and fought with each other. Number 3 was Kalisto, who did some good lucha things in there. Number 4 was Mojo Rawley, who no one gave a shit about. And then at number 5, Jack Gallagher from the Cruiserweight division. I have to give props to Jack Gallagher, man. He was doing some pretty cool stuff in this. Chris Jericho was telling people to drink in the gift of Jericho, man. And Jack Gallagher had his umbrella with him to the ring, and he just hit Jericho in the nuts with it and then opened up the umbrella, which was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Then at number 6, Mark Henry showed up, which was alright. Gallagher got thrown through the middle ropes, but he wasn't eliminated. But he ended up getting thrown out of the ring off the top rope, kind of like Mary Poppins style, which was pretty funny. And then at number 7 we had Braun Strowman, and that's when shit started to pick up. He threw out Mojo Rawley and Big Cass, and he just threw Kalisto, just chucked him like a dart out of the ring. and he ended up eliminating Henry, and so he was pretty much the only one left in the ring. I think Jericho was kind of chilling on the outside. He kept doing that throughout the match and just chilled on the outside, which was good strategy. And then at number 8, Sami Zayn showed up, and they had a big stare down because Strowman and Zayn have had a bit of a rivalry in the last month or so. And coming in at number 9 is the Big Show, and they had a big stare down, Big Show and Braun Strowman. Strowman ended up throwing out the Big Show, and then at number 10, we were hoping this would happen. We were praying to the wrestling gods this would happen, and it did. At number 10, Ty Dillinger. Yes, they actually did it, and I am so happy about it. Oh, it was just perfect as well. It was a perfect 10, man. Just the crowd lost its shit. This was pretty much... Here's a spoiler for you. This was pretty much the only surprise entrant we got tonight. So, yeah, if you see some other names thrown out, it's not going to be that big of a surprise to you. But I was so happy to see Ty Dillinger out there. He did great. And then at number 11, James Bloody Ellsworth got into the Royal Rumble match. Carmella was with him at ringside because, they've kind of got a thing going on at the moment. And he sees Braun Strowman in the ring, and he's just looking at Carmella like, are you sure I should go in there? I've dealt with this guy before. He's fucking crazy. And so he goes in, and he's still hesitating on, going in. But Strowman nearly ends up getting eliminated. And then at number 12, Dean Ambrose, the IC champion, shows up and pretty much says, hey, Ellsworth, how about you and me? We go in there and we kick Strowman's ass. And they go to run, but then Ambrose stops when Ellsworth gets into the ring, which was funny. And just Strowman just fucks Ellsworth up and just throws him out just like he was nothing, and he just lands on the outside. Number 13 was Baron Corbin, which was good. Dillinger ended up getting eliminated, which kind of sucked. And but they ended up getting rid of Strowman, Zayn, Ambrose, and Corbin throughout Braun Strowman, which is crazy. The Spot Monkey, Kofi Kingston, came out at number 14, and his big thing was, I think someone ended up, he was on the top rope, and someone chucked him off, and he landed, and his face just planted onto the top of the LED post, but he ended up hanging on for dear life on the LED pole that is used to keep the ring together, so that was pretty cool. Miz came out at number 15 and did some shots at Daniel Bryan like he always does. So we had Big E at number 17. I forgot who was number 16. I think it was Baron Corbin. So number 18 was Rusev, number 19 was Cesaro, and when Big E got into the ring as well, he kind of slapped Miz on the ass, which was a bit weird. Sheamus came in at number... Oh no, I think that was Sheamus at number 16. Apologies there. And so Cesaro, when he got in the ring, he was spinning everyone, and he accidentally grabbed Sheamus and he's telling him, no, don't spin me, fella, don't do that. And so that was pretty funny. Xavier Woods came out at number 20, and then all three members in the ring. And at number 21, Bray Wyatt showed up, and he was a big part of this match. He stared down Xavier Woods, and they were still kind of saying, they were still acknowledging the whole feud they had last year, which was cool. And Sheamus and Cesaro end up eliminating the entire New Day after Apollo Crews came out at number 22. But they end up getting eliminated by Chris Jericho. And then at number 23, Randy Orton shows up. He hits Zayn when he jumped off the top rope with an RKO out of nowhere, which is cool. And of course, Orton and Wyatt worked together throughout the entire match. Dolph Ziggler came out at number 24, sweet. Luke Harper came out at number 25, and he ends up eliminating Apollo Crews. And then Harper, Bray Wyatt's trying to calm down Orton and Harper because they still have some tension going on. He fucking clotheslines Bray Wyatt. He's about to hit the Sister Abigail on him, but Orton hits an RKO on him, and I think he gets thrown out. Then at number 26, here comes the pain. Brock Lesnar shows up and just cleans house. Throws out Ambrose, throws out Ziggler, just throws out everyone. Then at number 27... poor little Enzo Amore shows up, and he's just in the ring. He's like, I can take him. I'm a certified G and all that. And as soon as he gets in the ring, just a couple of seconds in, he just gets fucked up by Lesnar and thrown out of the ring. So, yeah, what was that, Enzo? I know how you're doing. You're not doing well. Then number 28, Goldberg showed up. and I had a fucking feeling he was going to do this. He instantly speared Lesnar and threw him out of the ring like he was a jobber. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, just like at Survivor Series, just chucks him out like he's a little bitch. You know, sooner or later, Brock Lesnar is going to have to snap on Goldberg and request one last match at WrestleMania. It has to happen. It has to happen. He hit the jackhammer on Sami Zayn, and there was a double spear to both Wyatt family members. And at number 29, The Undertaker shows up, and he shows up right behind Goldberg. You know how they dim the lights and they come back up, and he's in the ring already. And Undertaker eliminates Goldberg. Holy shit. So yeah, that was it for Goldberg pretty much. And then we got number 30. The big reveal. Everyone was speculating, who could it be? Could it be Samoa Joe? Could it be Finn Balor? Could it be Kurt Angle? Could it be anyone? Like maybe Kenny Omega, even though he probably wasn't going to come out. But who was it? Who was the big reveal? It was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Roman Reggae. Ramadine Reigns. The big top dog. Wow. Just, really? Roman, number 30, despite the fact that he had a Universal title match and he lost? Nah, mate, just fucking throwing him. You know, I know Styles lost his title, but fuck him, he doesn't need that. Let's throw in Roman, he'll be right. This is bullshit chant by the fans, rightfully so. He instantly stared down The Undertaker, and not only that, after Undertaker eliminated The Miz and Sami Zayn, he gets fucking thrown out by Roman Reigns, and Undertaker gives him the death stare of the century. Roman, I'm warning you, buddy, you just made the biggest mistake of your life throwing out The Undertaker. If you think The Undertaker's gonna let that shit slide, you have another thing coming, my friend. Oh, God. So, I'm pretty sure we're getting Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. So, that'd be pretty good. And just to make things even worse, Jericho ends up getting eliminated by Roman Reigns. So, the final three guys are Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. It's basically a 2-on-1 handicap match at this point. Roman eliminates Bray Wyatt. No. But it looks like he was about to spear Randy Orton. The final two guys, but then Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere, throws him out, saves the day, and Randy Orton, for the second time, wins the Royal Rumble match. He did it in 2009, and 8 years later, he does it again in 2017. So, let's talk about this. Orton winning the Rumble. What could possibly happen going forward? Worst case scenario, and I fucking hope they don't do this, because Cena's the champion. Orton wins the Royal Rumble. We might get Cena and Orton again. I hope. I'm praying to God that WWE's not that fucking stupid to do Cena and Orton again for at least the 11th time on pay-per-view. It'd have to be around that mark, surely. WWE cannot be that fucking stupid to do that again. Please. We've seen it so many times. We don't need to do it again. But you know, there's also there's also Randy Orton versus AJ Styles if AJ wins back the title at Elimination Chamber, which I'd be down for. That'd be pretty cool. The only logical conclusion that could happen is if Bray Wyatt wins the Chamber match in 2 weeks' time and wins the title, so it's Wyatt versus Orton at WrestleMania. Wyatt gets a main event spot, which awesome for him though. Like, oh man, I'd be so happy if Bray Wyatt got the main event spot, but he probably won't. Probably be some part-timer in the main event, but you know, that'd be friggin' awesome if that actually happened to make the most sense. But we're just, as of right now, we're not really sure, but we're praying to God that we get Orton versus Wyatt at Mania. If so, I don't have a problem with this win, but if we get Orton and Cena for the 10 millionth time, fuck this victory. So, yeah, kind of conflicted on how I feel about Orton right now. Hopefully WWE makes the right decision, which I don't really do during the Royal Rumble, but hopefully they do the right thing here. So, yeah, this is going to be it for this review right now. So, match of the night, hands down, Cena versus AJ. Do I really need to explain why? It was fucking fantastic. Go watch it. How am I going to give this show? I'm going to give this show a 7.5 out of 10. I thought this was a pretty good show. There was some booking decisions in the Rumble that I wasn't exactly too thrilled about. Roman being number 30, seriously WWE, what the fuck? But overall for that, there's not really a problem that I had with the Royal Rumble. I wish there was a bit more surprise entrances in the Rumble, but you know, you don't always get what you want. But yeah, overall, pretty decent show. Really, really good Royal Rumble in my opinion. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of the 2017 Royal Rumble, and if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'd be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram is at JackmanLaw31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching this review, and I am out in 3, 2, 1.